All right, my friends, gather round. Let's talk about something that I believe can truly change the trajectory of your life. The 5 simple rules that, if you commit to living by them, can unlock a level of success, fulfillment, and personal growth that you've only ever dreamed of. Now, I know what you might be thinking, 5 simple rules, Jim, how can it be that easy? Well, let me tell you, my friends, the most powerful principles in life are often the most straightforward. It's not the complexity of the ideas that hold us back. It's our own resistance to change, our fear of the unknown, and our tendency to overcomplicate things. But I'm here to tell you today that if you're willing to embrace these 5 simple rules, if you're ready to make them the foundation upon which you build your life, then the world is going to open up to you in ways you can scarcely imagine. You see, the thing is, we all have this incredible potential within us, this boundless capacity for growth, for achievement, for making a positive impact on the world around us. But so often, we get bogged down by the noise, the distractions, the limiting beliefs that society has conditioned us to accept as truth. We tell ourselves, oh, I could never do that. That's for the special few, the lucky ones, or I don't have what it takes. I'm just not cut out for that kind of success. And you know what happens? We start to believe those lies, and we end up settling for a life that's far less than what we're truly capable of. But my friends, I'm here to tell you today that it doesn't have to be that way. You have the power to break free from those limiting beliefs, to shed the shackles of self-doubt and fear, and to step into the fullness of who you were created to be. And the key, the secret sauce, if you will, lies in these 5 simple rules. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jim, if they're so simple, how come we're not all living by them already? Well, let me tell you, the simplicity of these rules is both their greatest strength and their greatest challenge. You see, the truth is, we human beings, we have a tendency to overcomplicate things. We love to add layers of complexity, to create convoluted systems and structures that we think will be the answer to all of our problems. But the reality is, the most profound truths, the ones that can truly transform our lives, are often the ones that are staring us right in the face. And that's exactly what these 5 simple rules are. They're not some secret, esoteric knowledge that's been hidden away from the masses. No, friends, these are the timeless principles that have been guiding the greatest thinkers, the most successful individuals, and the most fulfilled human beings throughout the course of history. And the reason why they're so powerful, the reason why they have the ability to change the trajectory of your life, is that they speak directly to the core of what it means to be human. They tap into the universal truths that we all share, the fundamental desires and aspirations that unite us as a species. So, are you ready, my friends? Are you ready to dive in, to open your minds and your hearts, and to really let these 5 simple rules sink in? Because I can promise you, if you do, if you make the commitment to live by these principles, your life is never going to be the same again. Now, the first of these 5 simple rules is this: take full responsibility for your life. Now, I know, it's not the most exciting or glamorous rule, but hear me out, my friends, because this one is absolutely foundational. You see, the truth is, so many of us, we go through life with this victim mentality, this belief that we're at the mercy of our circumstances, that the events and situations that happen to us are completely outside of our control. Oh, I didn't get that promotion because my boss hates me. I'm struggling financially because the economy is just so bad right now. My relationship fell apart because my partner was just an awful person. And you know what happens when we adopt that kind of mindset? We give away our power. We relinquish our ability to shape the course of our lives. And we end up feeling helpless, frustrated, and completely disempowered. But my friends, I am here to tell you today that the path to true success, to lasting fulfillment, it begins with taking full responsibility for your life. It's about recognizing that at the end of the day, you are the captain of your own ship. You are the architect of your own destiny. And while there will always be external factors and circumstances that are beyond your control, the way you choose to respond to those challenges, that's where your power lies. You see, when you take full responsibility for your life, When you stop making excuses and start taking ownership of your choices and your actions, something incredible happens. You go from being a passive observer of your own existence to an active participant in the creation of your reality. You become the driver, the decision maker, the one who's in the driver's seat, steering your life in the direction that you want it to go. And trust me, my friends, the sense of empowerment, the surge of confidence that comes from that shift in mindset, it's truly life-changing, because suddenly you're no longer at the mercy of your circumstances. Instead, you're the master of your own destiny, shaping your life with intention and purpose. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but Jim, what about all the unfair things that happen to us in life? The injustices, the hardships, the setbacks that are completely out of our control? And you know what? You're absolutely right. Life isn't always fair, and there will always be challenges and obstacles that we have to navigate. But the difference, my friends, the key distinction that separates the successful, the fulfilled, from those who remain stuck in a cycle of victimhood is the ability to reframe those challenges, to see them not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth and transformation. Because you see, when you take full responsibility for your life, when you stop making excuses and start taking ownership of your choices and your actions, you open yourself up to a whole new world of possibility. You tap into a level of creativity, resilience, and problem-solving ability that you never knew you possessed. Suddenly, those challenges that once felt insurmountable, they start to become mere speed bumps on the road to your greatness. And instead of succumbing to despair or resignation, you find yourself rising to the occasion, meeting each obstacle with a renewed sense of determination and a deep, abiding belief in your ability to overcome. And my friends, that's where the real magic happens, because when you make the choice to take full responsibility for your life, when you commit to being the captain of your own destiny, you unlock a level of personal power that can truly transform every aspect of your existence. Your relationships, your career, your finances, your health, they all start to improve, almost as if by magic, because you're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. You're the one calling the shots, making the decisions, and taking the necessary actions to create the life that you truly want. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but Jim, what if I've made mistakes in the past? What if I've already dug myself into a hole that seems impossible to climb out of? And let me tell you, my friends, I get it. We've all made choices that we've regretted, decisions that have led us down a path that we never intended to go. But here's the thing. When you take full responsibility for your life, when you stop making excuses and start taking ownership of your actions, you open the door to the possibility of transformation. You see, the past doesn't have to define you. It doesn't have to be the anchor that keeps you tethered to a life that you're no longer satisfied with. Instead, you can choose to use it as fuel, as a source of motivation to propel you forward towards the life that you truly want. Because the truth is, every single one of us, we've all made mistakes. We've all had our fair share of setbacks and challenges. But the difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck, it's all about we choose to respond to those adversities. Do we wallow in self-pity, making excuse after excuse for why we can't move forward? Or do we dust ourselves off, take a long, hard look at the choices we've made, and commit ourselves to doing whatever it takes to create a better future? And my friends, I can tell you from personal experience, that second path, the one where you take full responsibility for your life, it's not always easy. In fact, it can be downright difficult at times. But I can also tell you that the rewards, the sense of empowerment and self-mastery that you'll experience, it's something that's truly priceless. Because when you make the choice to take full responsibility for your life, my friends, you unlock a level of personal power that can truly transform every aspect of your existence. You see, when you stop making excuses and start taking ownership of your actions, you open the door to the possibility of change, of growth, of creating a future that's far brighter and more fulfilling than the one you may have envisioned for yourself. And that, my friends, is where the real magic happens. Because now, instead of feeling like a victim of your circumstances, you become the architect of your own destiny. You're the one calling the shots, making the decisions, and taking the necessary steps to bring your vision for your life into reality. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, But Jim, what about all the things that are outside of my control? The economy, the job market, the global pandemics, and all the other curveballs that life likes to throw our way. And you know what? You're absolutely right. There will always be external factors and circumstances that are beyond our ability to influence. But here's the thing. When you take full responsibility for your life, when you stop making excuses and start taking ownership of your choices and your actions, those external factors become far less of a barrier to your success and fulfillment. Because now, instead of getting bogged down by the things you can't control, you're able to focus your energy and your attention on the things that you can. You see, my friends, the beauty of taking full responsibility for your life is that it empowers you to become the master of your own destiny. It allows you to shift your mindset from one of helplessness and victimhood to one of empowerment and agency. And when you operate from that place of personal power, when you're the one steering the ship, the challenges and obstacles that once seemed insurmountable start to become mere speed bumps on the road to your greatness. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, okay, Jim, I get it. Taking responsibility for my life is important. But how exactly do I go about doing that? And that's a great question, my friends. Because the truth is, taking full responsibility for your life isn't just a mindset shift. It's a daily practice, a way of being that requires consistent effort and commitment. But don't worry, I'm here to break it down for you. The first step is to start becoming hyper-aware of the language you use, the stories you tell yourself, and the way you frame your experiences. Because the truth is, the way we talk about our lives, the narratives we construct, they have a profound impact on the way we see ourselves and the world around us. So if you find yourself constantly using phrases like, I can't, I have to, or I don't have a choice, it's time to start reframing those statements. Instead, try saying things like, I choose to, I'm going to, or I have the power to. Because when you start to shift the way you speak, you start to shift the way you think, and that, my friends, is where the real transformation begins. And it's not just about the language you use, either. It's also about taking a hard look at the beliefs and assumptions that are guiding your decision-making process. Because so often we're operating based on limiting beliefs that we've inherited from our upbringing, our culture, or our past experiences. Beliefs like, I'm not smart enough, I don't have what it takes, or I'm just not the type of person who succeeds at this kind of thing. But here's the thing. Those beliefs, they're not the truth. They're just stories that we've told ourselves, and stories can be changed. So the next step is to start actively challenging those limiting beliefs, to question the validity of the narratives you've been living by, and to consciously replace them with empowering, self-affirming beliefs that will propel you forward towards the life you truly want. And you know what, my friends? It's not always easy. In fact, it can be downright difficult at times, because changing the way we think and the way we see ourselves, it requires us to step out of our comfort zones, to confront the fears and insecurities that have been holding us back. But I can tell you from personal experience that when you make that commitment, when you start to take full responsibility for your life, the rewards, they're truly priceless. Because suddenly, you find yourself operating from a place of empowerment, a place of unwavering self-belief and determination. And when you're coming from that place, my friends, the world starts to open up to you in ways you never could have imagined. Your relationships, your career, your finances, your health, they all start to improve almost as if by magic, because you're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. You're the one calling the shots, making the decisions, and taking the necessary actions to create the life that you truly want. And let me tell you, there's nothing quite like the feeling of being the master of your own destiny. To know deep down in your bones that you have the power to shape your reality, to overcome any obstacle, and to achieve the level of success and fulfillment that you've been dreaming of. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Okay, Jim, I get it. Taking responsibility for my life is important. But what about the other 4 simple rules you promised us? And don't worry, my friends, I haven't forgotten. Because while taking full responsibility for your life is the foundation, the bedrock upon which all the other rules are built, it's just the beginning of this incredible journey of personal transformation. So let's move on to the second rule, shall we? And this one, it's all about continuously expanding your knowledge and skills. You see, my friends, in today's rapidly changing world, the one thing that's become abundantly clear is that the key to success, to personal and professional growth, it's not just about what you know, but about your ability to constantly learn, adapt, and evolve. Because let's face it, the world is changing at a breakneck pace, and the skills and knowledge that might have been valuable just a few years ago, they can quickly become obsolete. And if you're not proactively working to expand your capabilities, if you're not constantly pushing the boundaries of your own expertise, then you run the risk of being left behind. Now, I know what some of you might be saying, but Jim, I'm already so busy. I barely have time to keep up with my current responsibilities, let alone learn new things. And I get it, my friends, I really do. We live in a world that's constantly demanding our attention, that's always pulling us in a million different directions. But here's the thing. When you make the commitment to continuously expand your knowledge and skills, when you make that a priority in your life, the benefits, they're truly transformative. Because not only does it give you a competitive edge in the marketplace, but it also ignites a sense of passion, of curiosity, and of personal growth that can have a profound impact on every area of your existence. You see, the human mind, it's an incredible thing. It's this boundless reservoir of potential just waiting to be tapped into. And when you make the decision to feed it, to constantly challenge it with new information, new skills, and new perspectives, something magical starts to happen. Your problem-solving abilities start to sharpen. Your creativity starts to blossom. And your ability to adapt to change and overcome obstacles, it becomes almost second nature. And let me tell you, my friends, in a world that's moving as quickly as ours, that kind of agility, that kind of intellectual horsepower, it's an absolute game changer. But it's not just about the practical benefits either. Because when you commit yourself to continuous learning, when you make that a core part of your identity, it has a way of reigniting that sense of wonder, that childlike curiosity that so many of us lose touch with as we get older. Suddenly, the world becomes this vast, fascinating playground filled with endless opportunities for growth and discovery. And the more you learn, the more you explore, the more you realize just how much there is to know, how much there is to experience. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, my friends. And with each new insight, each new skill you acquire, you find yourself becoming more and more alive, more connected to the wonder and the richness of the human experience. And let me tell you, that kind of energy, that sense of intellectual vibrancy and personal fulfillment, it's infectious, because when you start to embody that spirit of continuous learning, when you become a living, breathing example of the power of intellectual curiosity, you have the ability to inspire those around you, to uplift them, and to help them unlock their own boundless potential. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Okay, Jim, I get it. Continuous learning is important. But how exactly do I go about doing that? Where do I even start? And that's a great question, my friends, because the truth is the path to continuous learning. It's not always a straightforward one. It requires a certain level of intentionality, of discipline, and of a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. But let me tell you, the rewards, they are so worth it. Because when you make that commitment, when you start to actively seek out new knowledge, new skills, and new perspectives, the world opens up to you in ways you never could have imagined. Now, one of the best places to start is by identifying the areas of your life where you feel a sense of passion, a deep curiosity to learn and grow. Maybe it's a new language you've always wanted to pick up, or a subject in history that you find absolutely fascinating. Or maybe it's a skill like coding, or public speaking that you know could help take your career to the next level. Whatever it is, the key is to start small, to pick one or two areas that really ignite that fire within you, and then to dive in head first. And you know what, my friends? The great thing about living in the digital age is that there are so many incredible resources out there, from online courses and educational platforms to blogs, podcasts, and books, all just waiting to be explored. And the beauty of it is, you don't have to take on everything at once. In fact, I'd encourage you to start slow, to set aside a little bit of time each day or each week to dedicate it to your learning. Maybe it's an hour a day, or a couple of hours on the weekend whatever works best for your schedule and your lifestyle. Because the truth is, consistency is key when it comes to continuous learning. It's not about cramming as much information into your brain as possible, but rather about building a sustainable, lifelong habit of intellectual curiosity and growth. And you know what, my friends? The more you do it, the more that habit starts to take root. Suddenly, you find yourself naturally gravitating towards new learning opportunities, seeking out books and articles and podcasts that challenge you and expand your horizon. And as that momentum builds, as you start to see the tangible benefits of your efforts, it becomes this self-perpetuating cycle of growth and fulfillment. But it's not just about the practical skills and the intellectual stimulation either. Because when you make the commitment to continuous learning, when you start to approach life with a sense of wonder and a thirst for knowledge, it has a way of spilling over into every other aspect of your existence. Your relationships, for example, they start to deepen and blossom in ways you never could have anticipated. Because when you're constantly exposing yourself to new ideas, new perspectives, and new ways of thinking, it naturally makes you a more empathetic, more open-minded, and more engaging conversationalist. And your work, your career, it takes on a whole new level of meaning and fulfillment. Because now, instead of just going through the motions, you find yourself approaching your responsibilities with a renewed sense of passion and creativity, always looking for ways to innovate, to problem solve, and to add even more value to your organization and your community. And perhaps most importantly, my friends, when you make the commitment to continuous learning, when you start to see yourself as an eternal student, always seeking to grow and evolve, it has a way of instilling a profound sense of humility and self-awareness that can be truly transformative. Because let's face it, the more we learn, the more we realize just how much we don't know. And that realization, it has a way of shattering our ego, of breaking down those walls of pride and arrogance that so often hold us back from reaching our full potential. Suddenly, we find ourselves more open to feedback, more willing to admit our mistakes, and more receptive to the wisdom and experiences of those around us. And that, my friends, that's where the real magic happens. Because when we approach life with that level of humility and curiosity, when we're constantly striving to expand our knowledge and deepen our understanding, we unlock a level of growth and self-actualization that is truly awe-inspiring.